How to use case management data to improve your comprehensive community change initiative. A comprehensive community change initiative, which we'll call the initiative for short, is a multi-layered systems-level strategy to improve the lives of children, youth, and families in a specific place. Initiatives extend beyond the efforts of any one organization, such as one service provider, to work with many partners, including schools, government, congregations, and residents, to involve everyone in achieving widespread long-term change in areas like education, workforce development, safety, and civic culture. One way to visualize an initiative is to think of a busy transportation system. Each mode of transportation, whether it's a car, school bus, train, or boat, provides a different type of service, but serves the common purpose of getting people where they need to go. Initiatives base their efforts on a theory of change, which is their underlying assumptions for what it will take to achieve key goals, such as reducing child poverty or improving educational opportunities. Initiatives develop plans called results frameworks to express their theory of change in actionable terms, specifying how they will measure progress toward key goals and identifying the partners and strategies that are needed along the way. In the transportation example, this is similar to a map or GPS system that provides directions on how to get from point A to point B. For example, a Promise Neighborhood is an initiative with the specific goal of supporting students from cradle to college and career. Promise Neighborhoods develop theories of change about what strategies will ensure children and families are successful at every point along the cradle to career pipeline. And Promise Neighborhoods commit to a data-driven planning and improvement process to achieve community results. Initiatives are no stranger to data. Most are familiar with the common performance management cycle that takes place at the initiative level. Initiatives conduct needs assessments to understand the strengths and challenges of a community, identify desired results, implement a continuum of strategies to help achieve those results, and regularly measure how the community is changing in order to decide what should be done next. This performance management cycle produces initiative-level or community-level data about what is needed, what is being done, and how it's working. Case management data and the case management cycle that produces these data is a complementary process. In a similar way, the case management cycle identifies participants with particular strengths and challenges, plans services and referrals for participants, deliver on those services, then regularly assess how participants have made progress and what other support or opportunities they may desire. Both of these cycles are driven by the underlying assumptions and initiative's theory of change and results framework specify about how the community will achieve the results to which they are committed. Why is case management data so useful for improving an initiative? In tracking community-level data, initiatives take responsibility for achieving results for the entire community population, even for those people they may never serve directly. This is called population accountability. However, changes at the population level usually take longer, and individual strategies that may be working really well or not working at all can sometimes be obscured by larger trends or events in the local economy or school system. In our transportation example, population accountability means that everyone should be able to get where they need to go safely and on time, regardless of whether they are riding a bus to school, driving their car to work, or walking to the store. Case management data are uniquely powerful because they are linked to individual people or families, rather than to groups of people like entire schools or neighborhoods. This allows an initiative's performance managers, such as the data manager, program manager, board members, or executive director, to understand the outcomes the initiative is achieving for the people it serves most directly, through strategies like tutoring programs, mentor assignments, or home buyers clubs. This is called performance accountability. In our example, if a school bus isn't picking up the children who are going to school or isn't making the right turns to get to school, then the school bus isn't doing its job. Performance managers who look closely at case management data will have much better evidence to drive decisions on which strategies to expand, change, or stop altogether in order to stay true to the initiative's theory of change and desired results. In our example, these data would help us understand which kids are riding the bus and whether we have too many or too few buses for getting all kids to school. The keys to linking the results framework to the case management cycle are collecting the right case management data and asking the right performance measurement questions. These data and questions fall into three main categories: who, what, and so what. The next few slides provide a collection of data and questions an initiative should be examining in each of these categories. The first category is, who are we reaching? In the results framework, this question is examined at the population level by identifying a target population and understanding the needs of different segments of that population, such as children under 5, high school students, children of color, or households living in poverty. In the case management system, data are collected on individual participants that document things like where they live, age, race and ethnicity, and family composition. Performance managers can use these case management data to understand whether an initiative is staying true to its results framework based on who it serves. For example, if the results framework identified households with children under 5 as a particularly important target population to serve, performance managers should use case management data to ask, are we enrolling children and families who can most benefit from our programs? The second category is, what are we providing? In the results framework, this question is examined at the population level by identifying a continuum of solutions and evidence-based strategies that will achieve the results an initiative seeks, and the partners who can deliver those strategies. In the case management system, data are collected on individual programs and participants that document things like the types of services provided, the amount or dosage of services each participant receives, and when each participant attends or exits services. Performance managers can use these case management data to understand whether an initiative is staying true to its results framework based on what it's providing. For example, if the results framework identified home visiting as an important solution to provide households with children under 5, performance managers should use case management data to ask, how many households with children under 5 are receiving home visiting? And are those households receiving as many hours or days of home visiting as we would expect? The third category is, so what? Is anyone better off? In the results framework, this question is examined at the population level by annually measuring the population level indicators the initiative expects to improve by serving the target population with the identified strategies. In the case management system, data are collected on individual participants that document the outcomes for each participant directly served by programs. These data are collected through program assessments, pre-post tests, observations, or other methods. Performance managers can use these case management data to understand whether an initiative is staying true to its results framework based on what it's achieving for participants. For example, if the results framework identified kindergarten readiness as an indicator of progress toward their results, performance managers should use case management data to ask how many children who received home visiting were ready for kindergarten, and why were some children who received home visiting more ready for kindergarten than others. Let's look at two of those performance measurement questions in an example. Suppose an initiative's results framework has identified home visiting as a strategy to improve kindergarten readiness in the community. The initiative has two partners implementing the same evidence-based home visiting model. When the performance manager looks at case management data for families who participate in either of the programs, a simple comparison shows that 95% of children in Partner A's program are ready for kindergarten, and 68% of children in Partner B's program are ready for kindergarten, based on the same assessment all children take at the start of kindergarten. At first, these data might suggest that Partner A is doing a better job than Partner B of providing a service that achieves outcomes for children. Going back to our transportation example, we could say that School Bus A is successfully getting more kids to school than School Bus B. However, if the initiative continues to examine the case management data, it could examine who each program serves and whether a particular type of family tends to have better outcomes from the home visiting programs provided by the initiative. When the performance manager looks at case management data for families who participate in either of the programs, the data show that Partner B is serving far more families who have a young single parent under the age of 25. Because the initiative knows this is a high-need population, these families are expected to require more services in order to achieve the results desired for all families. In our transportation example, we could say that School Bus B had to pick up children much further from school and had a longer route to take with much heavier traffic, so we would expect it would take more time and resources for School Bus B to get its children to school. With these data in hand, performance managers have an opportunity for further discussion with initiative partners about refining their home visiting strategy, perhaps by designing a way to offer more intensive home visiting services specifically for families with young parents. Additionally, the initiative has the opportunity to maximize cost effectiveness by working with partners to implement the more intensive and therefore more expensive model with families who need it, reserving the less intensive model for families who are more likely to succeed with a lighter intervention. In our school bus example, we could say a data-driven solution might be to double the number of buses that pick up children who live further from school, so that those children can get to school around the same time as the children who live closer to school and can ride the same bus. It's safe to say that any initiative that only examines data at the population level is going to miss an important opportunity to figure out what's working and for whom it's working, likely stalling progress toward desired results. As in the case of our transportation example, without these data, we may never have known there were too few buses for children who live further from school, and that was keeping all children from getting to school on time. When based on a strong theory of change and results framework, case management data often serve as the headlights to light the way along a road that other data sources may leave in the dark. If you'd like to learn more about using case management data for the continuous improvement of community change initiatives, click the link on this slide to access the full research brief or contact one of the authors.